Cody Rhodes is sitting in the locker room when his pal Randy walks in, and he knows Cody doesn't want him out there, but if anything goes sideways, I'll have your back tonight with the Bloodline, and so would Kevin Owens, but he's not here tonight. I insisted he stay home to be with his family. They need him more than we do tonight, and Cody agrees, and tells Cody to give Solo a piece of your mind tonight. And when the business with the Bloodline is over, there's going to be a lot of men coming after that championship, and I'll have your back then too. And there was just enough of a pause for everybody to see that groundwork being placed.
A really great subtle tease for a future Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes program. And I think, just the framing and blocking of this with the championship standing between the two of them was more than enough to suggest that on its own. I mean, we've all enjoyed, I think, Uncle Randy for a few years now, getting high with Matt Riddle, eating lots of food during his entrances. But Uncle Randy is not a main eventer. He's not a title challenger. I think Randy is at his best when he's the bad guy. And this, what's seeming like a slow tease of a sudden, return of the Viper, It felt good, and it's adding a really interesting dynamic between these two.
There's no way that you're going to have this John Cena retirement tour without.
Oh, yeah.
The John Cena, Randy Orton, part 1005.
Who's bigger?
Got to have this guy as a heel.
Who's bigger at this point, and as these two approach age 50?
Who's bigger, like size-wise? Or?
Size-wise, yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what I was
Cena
saying.
or Orton?
They're both, I'd say Randy at this point. Randy's bulked up.
Yeah. I guess Cena's got to slim down sometimes for some of these roles.
Well, Theory is arguing with Waller when they are jumped by Jacob Fatu. And Jacob Fatu wrecks shop on everyone, including catching Gargano with a Samoan drop. Ciampa DDTs him, but it has no effect. So he super kicks Ciampa and hits a hip attack on Gargano. Then a double springboard moonsault by Fatu onto Gargano, followed up with a top rope moonsault to Ciampa. And the announcers did a great job of just conveying this athletic monster, laying out all four here. This should set up Jacob Fatu going for the tag titles by himself.
It really should, yeah.
I mean, I hope there's something here because they just totally sacrificed their tag champions. There's times like Jacob Fatu is a big deal for them to get over, but I would question as much as your tag champions that need to catch every break possible coming into this reign.
I 100% agree. I mean, I do think there's a very clear path now between the Bloodline and DIY, which you would assume would set up the Tongans to take on DIY for the championships. But I mean, it really should be Jacob Fatu involved in there, and DIY should get some form of revenge on Jacob Fatu. I laugh when
because if they're going to that quickly, I mean, DIY is not having a long title reign. There's no way they're keeping those tag titles done.
Well, it's Cleveland, remember? It's Johnny Gargano. So it's possible that they might retain.
The Heat.
We don't know. But I mean, this night was all about Jacob Fatu and putting everything on him.
Oh, dude, they went overdrive with Jacob Fatu, and he looked great. Looked great in this segment. Mm-hmm. So then Sikoa comes out with the Tongans. We come back. All four are in the ring, and Solo tells Worcester to acknowledge him. And goes over those that failed to acknowledge him aren't around anymore, citing Jimmy Uso, Paul Heyman, and Roman Reigns. And says, don't cheer for Roman now. You've got me. And if Roman ever comes back, he'll acknowledge me as his tribal chief. But tonight, it's all about Cody Rhodes, who will acknowledge me. And before he can even finish his sentence, Cody's music begins. He comes out and says, we both want the same thing. So without Nick Aldis here, you can still consider it official. Title match at SummerSlam. But if it was up to me, we wouldn't be waiting till SummerSlam. We'd do it right here, right now. And the Bloodline circle Cody, and Cody begins to fight. And of course, he is beaten down when Uncle Randy comes down and manages to fight off the Tongans and hits a draping DDT on Solo. Everyone is down except for Jacob Fatu, who gets the big spot with a running forearm smash to Randy. And Fatu continues with a tope suicida. They tie Cody in the ropes, so he has to watch as Jacob Fatu is headbutting him in the ribs. I felt like I was watching the Head Shrinkers in 1993 way. And he's headbutting the ribs, and Then the Tongans use the steps on Randy as they compare this to the original Bloodline attack on Randy from 2 years ago. And Fatu hits a bunch of super kicks, place Orton on the desk as Solo tells Cody it's all his fault. And Cody, the ultimate babyface, take me. And they shield powerbomb Randy through the desk. This man with God knows what damage in his back, taking one for the team here. And we get a Samoan spike to Cody, the Ulafala placed upon Solo, and they put their ones in the air to end the show. And they seem to end this early because these four had to keep their fingers up for like 90 seconds because they were padding this with replays, and then finally they just put their arms down. They're like, we look a little bit silly here.
Yeah.
WWE performers, they're really nailing or trying to nail the clean out at the end. It's been a struggle.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, like, for Jacob Fatu's debut, he did this closing scene, having to put the ones up with the rest of the group, and then he put it down early, and you could see Solo still with his arm up, be like, hey, bring your hand back up, bring it back up. So he's learned his lesson. You don't put that one down until until you see the floor director tell you to do so. Hey, the beatdown, though, I thought like there was some really good intensity here from the Bloodline. Good tension built with Cody having to watch being strung up on the ropes. Though I do feel like the spot needed to be a little bit more unique than a shield bomb, which at this point feels
What
like
if there was a forklift?
I think it needed that. Yeah, maybe a piece of drywall, between the the table and the shield bomb would have been would have taken him out that much longer. But like a shield bomb feels like at this point a pretty like normal move that you would see in a match, not the type of move that would entice Cody Rhodes to scream, "Take me, take me," So maybe that to me was a little bit lacking, but maybe they didn't want to go too overboard because maybe Randy's not supposed to be out that long, I guess. I don't know. But the intensity overall was really great, and I thought the promotion of Jacob Fatu was really strong here. This was the type of standout role I was hoping for in the Money in the Bank match that didn't necessarily get, but they did give tonight.
Does this image give you the thought that SummerSlam could be Tonga Loa eyeing his opponent Jamie Noble for Cleveland?
Is he the one left
Jamie
out?
Noble looks like he's just a deer in the headlights, and he knows he's the next target. Looks very nervous here.
Jamie Noble looks like he's gonna take up revenge for Randy Orton here.
So certainly you feel there's going to be some form of Jacob Fatu and Randy Orton, but I think that's a tough match to book at the moment. That's
I don't think Randy even needs to be involved at all. Like this is enough for Randy to turn on Cody. You let me get beaten up. I stood up for you, and you just got strung up in the ropes.
Maybe it turns out Randy Orton has some Samoan blood in him.
That would be a twist. But you're saying Bob Orton.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Might have had some nights.